Hey everybody, this is Ryan Mallory for SharePlanner.com, and today I want to talk to you guys about bullish and bearish engulfing candle patterns. Now, what is that exactly? Well, it's a two-day pattern, and we'll start with the bullish candle pattern first. It happens at the bottom of a downtrend typically, and you'll have a very small candle pattern one day, which tends to be to the downside, and then you will have a very strong pattern that engulfs the entire previous day's candle pattern. So I can talk about it all we want, but I'm going to have to show you some examples so that you can get exactly what it is that I'm talking about and how you can profit off of it. But let's go ahead and get some of this stuff out of the way up front though, just so you have an idea of what it is going into the examples. Like I said, small candle pattern, and then you have a candle body the following day that completely engulfs the previous day's candle body. So, and then for the bearish ones, it happens at the top of an uptrend typically, and you have like a small day to the upside and then a huge engulfing candle body the next day that completely engulfs the entire day's price action from the day prior. So let's go ahead and look at it here. The first example is going to be Apple from September 5th, 2018. So let's go ahead and pull that up. All right, so we'll zoom in on it a little bit more. So you see it right here? You're in a good uptrend, okay? Solid uptrend that's been going on for, a few months. And then you get a huge candle pattern here that engulfs the entire day's price action. So is that necessarily a sell signal? Not in all cases, but a lot of times it's definitely a warning sign that you should be careful. And when you've been extended this much and you haven't seen any real pullback, yeah, that's a good time to probably go ahead and book some profits or all the profits. So in this case, I would say go ahead and sell it. And the engulfing candle price action, it's accurate about 79% of the time. So it is one of the better candle bodies to rely on. However, it's not always a candle pattern that has a long-lasting impact. So you can see here for Apple, it lasted about 4 days, of selling, and then you had a 3-day pop, and then it kind of went sideways, and then it rose right back up to the all-time highs again. So you have to be aware of that. You can't just say, okay, you have a bullish candle pattern, I'm going to get heavily short and I'm going to ride it way down. Okay, now ultimately it does go way down, right? But that's if you're looking as a swing trader for this kind of price action, you may not be looking for a trade that's going to last 3 months. I surely am not. I'm looking for like a 2 to 3 week trade, and you can see after about 2 or 3 weeks it's back up to its all-time highs again. So you can't really do it for that purposes, but you can get a good 2 to 3 day pop out of it, to the downside. So this is your bearish engulfing candle pattern here. Again, you have a small candle body, and it doesn't have to be small, but a lot of times it usually is because they're a lot easier to engulf for the price action the following day. And then the following day here, you have a body that opens up above the previous day's body or the close, and then it completely engulfs that entire body from the previous day. So that's your bearish engulfing candle pattern. Now, you can also have it as a continuation pattern, and a lot of people don't talk about that, but it's definitely a scenario worth talking about here in this video, and that's from June 21st. We'll pull it up here. All right, so we already have a downtrend. It didn't happen because of a bearish engulfing candle pattern at the top, but you have two instances where you have bearish engulfing candle patterns and the trend continued to move lower. So sometimes it's a confirmation that the trend that it's already on wants to continue to push lower, because you get like a bounce and then the bounce doesn't hold, and as a result the following day you get a body that engulfs that pattern. So all right, so you have the top there, and then you have a little bit of a bear flag, and then boom, you have a engulfing candle pattern right there. It engulfs the entire day. And if you're taking shots for every time I say engulfing, then you're probably already 3 sheets to the wind by now, because I've said it a lot here and I'm almost getting tired of it myself in this video. But anyways, yes, you have a pattern that completely covers the previous day's price action and it continues lower. Then you get a little bit of a bounce, small body, and then here you go, another price body or another candlestick that completely engulfs the entire previous day's price action. So yes, it can act as a continuation pattern as well on an existing trend. Now, that doesn't mean you can get a bullish engulfing candle pattern on a downtrend and think that that's somehow a continuation of the downtrend. No, that usually means it's a reversal. So let's look at SQ, and we're going to go back to March 27th of 2017 for this one. So we're going way back. This has been one of my favorite stocks to trade over the last couple of years. Really good stock. When you catch the momentum, it can really go places for you. All right, here we go. So it's not quite a huge downtrend. It's been a little bit more of a consolidation per se, but you can see it has gone from 18 all the way down to 16. So it's still a pretty good plus 10% decline. And then you have this one day here where you have a tight body and then a huge day in the market for SQ where it engulfs the entire previous day's price action. So then what does it do? Well, it kind of consolidates a little bit, pulls back a little bit, and that's not uncommon either for it to pull back a little bit after you get this candle pattern. And then it just, goes through the roof there. So, I mean, the chart thereafter kind of speaks for itself, and not every chart's going to do that. SQ's been kind of a special stock over the last few years, but this is definitely a good example of a bullish candle pattern here, bullish engulfing candle pattern, that is. But now let's go ahead and look at the bearish ones. And the next one would be 727 F17. So July 27th, 2017. Here we go. Huge, huge, huge. Now, the more it engulfs in terms of the more ground that it covers, I mean, this is a much bigger bearish engulfing candle pattern than some of the other ones that we've seen so far. I mean, this is huge. You get something like this and you're in a long-term position, you might want to say to yourself, okay, it might be a good time to go ahead and book gains at this point because it's getting ready to be downright nasty in this stock. And that's what you have here. You have a huge, huge bearish engulfing candle price action. And so, yeah, that would be something to be very, very nervous about. Really good example there. And then the last example for SQ I'm going to show you is 2/21/18, so February 21st, 2018. Right here. Now what happens? It doesn't do anything, and that's possible. It can happen, and the reason why I bring up this particular example is that you have a bearish engulfing candle. I'm getting really tired of saying this. You have a bearish engulfing price action here, okay? A candle pattern. It engulfs the entire thing. It doesn't have to always do the shadows either. It's really important that the small body is engulfed by the bigger body the following day. Okay, and that's what you have. You also have one back here, and it did go down a little bit further, but it didn't really give you too much, and it resulted in a bounce thereafter. So you have to be careful. You can't just take it to the bank that this thing's going to keep on going down because there's no guarantees. You have one over here on March 27th of 2018, and you had a further continuation to the downside. However, like I said earlier in this video, it's not necessarily going to give you a long-lasting push lower, but you can get 2 to 3 days out of it, and that's definitely something worth trading off of. But yeah, this one here, you got the bearish engulfing candle price action, and it just keeps on going higher. So what's the takeaway from that? And you have it again here too, and it keeps going higher. Again, what's the takeaway? The takeaway is don't be naive to think that it's some kind of foolproof method of making money to the short side, because it's not. You have to use risk management. You have to use stop losses. All right, let's get out of SQ here and go to Wayfair. All right, a couple examples here going back to March 30th, 2015. So we're going way back here. We're going down memory lane. I was not trading this stock back in 2015. I think I didn't start trading this stock until last year, probably. Okay, so here we go. We have a pretty good solid downtrend of what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 straight days. So yeah, pretty decent downtrend in the short term. And then we get a little bit of a bounce, and then this body engulfs the previous day's body. Okay, and then what do? We keep going higher. So a really good example of where this candle pattern does work. And so a lot of times, the stronger the downtrend, and then you get the reversal, so a good solid downtrend like this, and then you get the bullish engulfing candle pattern the following day, that's a good sign. I like much more on the bullish side than I do the bearish side, even though statistically speaking, the bearish side tends to do better. However, I've noticed that over the years, the bullish ones tend to be more sustainable for a longer term. And I think a lot of that comes down to the fact that the market trends higher over time. So the bullish candle patterns are going to be a little bit more reliable in that regard. And the other thing too is that if the market's trending higher and you get one of these things, then it's more likely to confirm because the market's going to help it confirm. Whereas if you get a bearish engulfing candle pattern in the midst of a very heavy uptrend, you probably don't want to put too much faith in that it's going to continue to hold up, because there's a good chance that, like what we saw with Square, that the market's going to continue to push it higher and that it might just be a 2-day anomaly there. Okay, so that's one there. Let's go ahead and fast forward to October 1st, 2018. I'll give you a bearish example. Here we go. We get about 4 days out of this one here. So again, body engulfs this one, the previous day's body, and we're off to the races for about 2 to 3 days. So you can see on the downside, it tends to only last for a few days when you get the bearish engulfing candle pattern, whereas on the bullish side, it can last for a much longer period of time. And we'll look at it from the indices here too. Let's pull up the S&P 500. We have on June 13th, 2018. Gotta get that right. Did I pass it? I did pass it, June 13th. Okay, see here? Bearish engulfing candle pattern engulfs the entire day's previous price action, and all we have after that is downside. I think it sells off, you know, what, 1, 2, 3, 6 times over the course of the next 10 days. So yeah, I mean, that's the kind of price action that you want to see. So when you can get it on the indices and then you can get it on an individual stock, that's even better, because it gives you like that double confirmation that there may be something more to it, versus if the S&P's, you know, going straight up like it is right here, and you get something in Square that's a bearish engulfing candle pattern, you may want to weigh that against the broader market price action and realize, okay, this could just be an anomaly here. If the market continues to go higher, it's going to, you know, make it a moot point on the individual stock that I'm trading. So that's going to be it for today. We covered a lot of ground. I'm glad we talked about bearish engulfing candle patterns and bullish engulfing candle patterns. And the better part is I don't have to keep saying engulfing the rest of the day. So if you guys have any questions, always feel free to email me. Check out shareplanner.com. And if you want to trade with me on a daily basis, check out shareplanner.com/splash_zone. And that's where I'm at every day, trading with just tons of traders just like you. Thank you, and God bless. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please be sure to like and subscribe to my channel, as well as check out some of these other cool videos that I've done. And if you want to swing trade with me each and every day, you can do so by going to www.shareplanner.com/splashzone. Thanks and happy trading.